guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing around 9 to 10 methods in which you can earn money as a law student and especially as any other student working in India. Now, it's my personal belief that ideally students should be earning money through internships, and internships should pay for your expenses, living expenses and lifestyle expenses. However, even till today, there are a lot of lawyers and there are a lot of institutions who refuse to pay you any sort of internship stipend, and for that purpose it becomes imperative for students to find out other methods of earning some side income. So the focus will be on that sort of a side income today in this video. So first is my most favorite and something that I've done while I was a student and even after I graduated out of college, is to become a virtual assistant with a lawyer or with some famous personality. Now what you have to do for them is that you have to write emails for them, schedule emails for them, you have to arrange meetings for them, you have to speak to their maybe some clients for them, and you have to do some administrative tasks for them, essentially like arranging things for them. So if you are somebody who's good at arranging things, who's somebody good at communicating things, who's good at writing emails, etc., who's good at following up, please consider this thing. It's going to be extremely exciting for you to do this, because you'll not only be working or say speaking to that famous person you are a virtual assistant for, but also in the process you'll make a lot of networks in the industry, and you'll know a lot of important people, and you'll see what sort of exciting work they do on a day-to-day basis, right? So that's the first thing. Now the second thing is, of course, this one very underrated way, however all of you should consider doing this, is selling your own notes. So now, for example, say if you are a second year law student and you made really brilliant notes from you attended all the lectures, you actually read reference materials, and you compiled notes on those all of those reference materials that you read. You can compile every sort of notes that you made and convert that into a PDF or say an ebook and sell it on platforms like Amazon and Gumroad. You can also, even if you don't want to go into the hassle of selling through a third-party platform, you can simply compile everything through a PDF into a PDF, and of course you can send it out to people who are willing to buy it from you. You can price it very low, as low as 100 rupees, 50 rupees, 200, 250 rupees, etc. And trust me, there is a huge market for this, because there are lazy people like me who don't want to take notes in class and who want prepared notes for them to study. And it is for those people that you are making their life easier by giving them a compiled copy of the notes, which they just have to lie down on their bed and read for their exams, right? So please consider doing this if you are somebody who's good at taking down notes. The third thing is that you become an assistant with some of the professors outside of India. Now say for instance, now I'm not talking about research assistants, because research assistant is when you have to actually sit down and do research for them. However, assistant for professors would only eventually end up doing proofreading for their drafts, editing for their drafts, compiling footnotes for their drafts, etc., right? And maybe sending out a few emails here and there to the publishers, etc., or something on those lines. So you can try writing to such professors, but on the other hand, I feel that students who are good in researching only end up getting these opportunities, because then you come in contact with the professor basis the research assistantship that you've done with them, and eventually they sublet you, or say they give you this sort of a work also of say when to help them with footnotes or with proofreading or editing of the document, right? So you can consider doing this also, and I would suggest you to try and do this with professors outside of India, so that they'll pay you in dollars, and that will help you earn more in lesser amount of time. Now fourth is of course transcribing. Now this is really new. You can use platforms like I had written the platforms. Yes, you can use SpeakWrite and e-typist, and these platforms are essentially only when you help somebody convert their audio file into a written file. So all you have to do on these platforms is you have to listen to some audio files and you have to type out the documents in consonance to what you heard in those audio files, right? I think it sounds easy, and it's actually easy, and some people have actually made this their life career option also, and they do it full time as well, right? So you can consider doing this as well. Now moving ahead, say if you prepared for an entrance exam, and like be it CLAT, be it like a PU entrance, DU entrance, be it like Maharashtra entrance exams, or like Jindal ke liye you prepared for LSAT etc, LSAT India, or you prepared for any other entrance exam in life, and now you are comfortably in college and you are studying in those colleges. Try and contact the coaching institutions and tell them that you want to coach students for those entrance exams. They will be more than happy to get you on board and pay you per hour for such entrance exams, because there is a lack of faculty who's actually cleared those exams. There will be a lot of teachers who are willing to teach these subjects, but they haven't themselves cleared the exam, so there's no credibility attached to such teachers, right? If you are somebody who's cleared these exams, you have a very high chance of getting recruited on a per hour basis with these coaching institutions. So please by all means contact these coaching institutions. Next is there are two things that you can do for lawyers, and trust me when I say this, there is a huge demand. I've seen it myself, at least in the Punjab Haryana High Court, in the Rajasthan High Court. There is a huge demand for two things. First is drafting documents for the lawyers. Now lawyers are usually not very interested, like established lawyers. Now they are not very much interested in drafting their own documents. They usually get it done by somebody, so they outsource most of the drafting work that they have in offices. However, the people who are usually available for such sort of drafting work, they have bulk work, right? So the quality sometimes diminishes in the sort of bulk work that you take from too many people, and you end up giving drafts that have a lot of mistakes. So these people, like these established lawyers, are always on the lookout for somebody who has the legal knowledge and who can comfortably write in good English or whichever language is used in that court, and turn around a draft in a specific time with no mistakes, or like virtually very less mistakes, right? So if you feel that you have good drafting skills, and if you feel you have good command over the language used in a particular court, please cold pitch yourself to lawyers, and trust me, you will get a lot of work, so much work that you'll have to also say no for that work at one point in time. So that's one thing. Second huge market, and a very unexplored market, is summarizing case laws and judgments, right? Now there are times wherein and there's a huge demand for that as well. There are times when lawyers wouldn't want to necessarily subscribe to any case law databases. They don't have the kind of money, etc, but they also don't have the kind of time to invest in reading like a 200-pager judgment, and sending out a summary to and compiling a summary for themselves to be utilized in the courtroom hearing later, right? So if you are somebody who's good at quick reading and who's good at summarizing things, please deep dive into this market. This will have two benefits for you. A, you can earn some quick money from this, and secondly, you are any which ways increasing your knowledge base, and you are reading so many judgments at length, so that's going to help you anyways in future, right? So these are the two methods that you should be using. Now moving ahead, I've lost the count, I don't know which on which option we are. Next is of course ghostwriting. Now ghostwriting, you have to take your moral call on that whether you want to do it or not. Now there are certain places wherein they would allow you to ghostwrite projects and assignments for students also. However, I feel that you should think about it and check whether your moral ground or the ethical ground allows it or not. If it does, of course you can by all means you can go ahead and do that. However, it might be considered illegal also at times, so you might want to reconsider on that option as well. However, ghostwriting in the real sense of what I've usually done is that there are a lot of law firms who have their blogs, their very active blogs, right? They would want continuous blog posts on their web pages. So which is why they hire a lot of content writers to ghostwrite material for their law firm blogs. Now that blog will not go out in your own name, it will not become a publication in your own name, but you will get paid for writing that. And the payment is usually very high because a law firm has a good budget. Like somebody who's hiring content writers just to promote material on their website has usually, I'm not saying always, usually has a good budget to pay out to their content writers. So you can even consider that, and that's a very good option because again you increase your own knowledge base and you earn some quick money in that, right? Now there is again another website which there are like a few websites like say Chegg and Bartleby. wherein you can help students internationally in their homework. Now, I'm not saying that you do their homework for them, you just help them in their homework. Now, some of these sites might be banned in certain jurisdictions. You might be banned from helping students in their homework if you are doing it on websites like Upwork and Fiverr. However, Chegg and Bartleby are specifically made for this purpose, and as of what I know, it's not banned till date. And maybe I'm wrong, but please check that again, because like one of my very close friends used to earn a lot from Chegg. So make sure that if you are helping students on Chegg, you are helping them and not completely doing the thing for them, right? So that's one. Then of course there are a lot of places wherein you can help with your translation services. Some websites that I would like to recommend is Lionbridge and Appen, wherein you can go ahead and say if you know 2 languages, you can translate documents from Hindi to English, English to Hindi, or from English to any other language, from any other language to English, etc. Right? So even this is something that you can do if you have a command over some of the languages, more than 2-3 languages. Then all of this is done. Last is of course affiliate marketing. This is not only for students, this is for anybody. You just simply have to literally go on Amazon, you have to go on all of these websites, on Nika also actually. You just have to become an affiliate marketer with them. So they will give you a link, and that link that link will be your affiliate marketing link, right? So if you use that, if you send that link to say 20 people, and even if one person ends up buying a product by clicking on your link, you get a commission on the purchase that is made by that person, right? So even in this, there is nothing illegal, there is nothing that is wrong, there is nothing that is questionable. It's literally how many people you approach with this affiliate marketing link, and would people be willing to click on the link and make a purchase through that link that you sent to them. And if they end up doing, you end up getting a commission out of the purchase that they've made. So I think I have covered all the things that I had to discuss today. Now of course many of you would have reservations about which ones to take, which ones to not pursue, etc. Is it legal, is it illegal? So I would suggest, according to your jurisdiction, please check whatever is legal, whatever is illegal. In some jurisdictions, one thing of helping out students could be illegal. In other jurisdictions it's actually promoted, and which is why the website exists in the first place, right? So you need to take your own moral stand ground and see that what is your need for the money, and why am I helping somebody in this? What do they gain out of it, right? And then take a decision. Don't have some pre-assumptions in mind. Just make sure that if you're doing something, you're doing it and it's correct in your head. You're not doing something wrong, right? So I think with this we've reached the end of this long video, and if you liked it, please like, comment, share, subscribe, send it to your friends, help them also earn money. And if whatever doubts you have pertaining to the legal industry, pertaining to any career trajectories, anything pertaining to your resume, interview, cover letter, etc., please put them in the comments. Please put your feedback in the comments, and you can approach me on my Instagram, which is Career Solutions by Ashna Jain. And if you're looking for any personal mentorship services, etc., you can again approach me on my Instagram channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I'll see you next week again.